Howdy, my name is Christian Podesta, and I'm currently an academic peer mentor for the Department of Residence Life here at Texas A&M University. We as academic peer mentors essentially serve as academic coaches for all students on campus. Anything you need help with academically, whether it be creating a study plan, learning how to prepare for your exams better, or how to speak to professors, anything like that, we are here to help you with. There's a lot of us on staff. Most of us are undergraduate students, junior, senior level. We have a few sophomores as well, and we do have a broad range of majors. So if you're an engineer and you really want to speak to an engineer regarding, ETAM or engineering related, work, we can help you. We aren't tutors. We can't help you with specific classes, but we can point you to tutors, and we can just help you with your academics in general. So of course, normally we would do programs and meetings in person on campus, but given the current circumstances and how everything's moving online, we of course are doing our best to do the same. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and take this opportunity to try to create this little tutorial video and teach our students how to use Zoom. So Zoom is probably relatively new for a lot of us. I know it was for me, but we're here for you, and we're going to teach everyone how to use it, and hopefully anything you may need regarding Zoom will be in this video. So I'll get back to this information a little later once we actually delve into Zoom. So for now, we're gonna go ahead and just get started. I'm gonna show everyone how to download and install Zoom, how to set up your account, and then how to basically use it and how it works. So first, we're gonna go ahead and search Zoom Tamu and hit the first link that pops up, and then I would recommend just going right ahead and downloading Zoom onto your computer. You can use it through this web service or through the internet. You can join meetings, you can host meetings through the internet, but eventually it's probably going to ask you to download it. So may as well just go ahead and download Zoom. So you're going to hit that first download button, and then you're going to hit this top one right here, and then you can save it or you can just run it, and then you're going to let it do its thing. So, a little bit about Zoom itself. In case you don't know, Zoom is essentially a video chat, audio chat, and text chat service. So you can think of it kind of like Skype, but more work related. So, your professors can have meetings where all the students in the class join in and watch him give a lecture, or you can have meetings with your group mates or whatever the case may be. You can do it all through Zoom. You may have already seen some of your professors talk about it, whether they're having a class through it or they're giving office hours through Zoom. Whatever the case may be, you'll probably need this tool eventually, and that's what we're here for. So Zoom finished downloading, and this is the first screen that comes up whenever you launch the app. You can join a meeting, you can sign in, and those are your only two options. So like I was saying earlier as well, you do have the option of just going through the web, and I'll show you how to use these towards the end briefly, but we're going to stick with the app for now. So one thing to note before we start, I am doing this on Windows. I don't really know how it is on Mac. I would assume it's relatively similar, but if not, of course I apologize. I don't have a Mac, so I'm not entirely sure. But first and foremost, you can join a meeting in Zoom without even needing or setting up your account. I don't know why I keep saying that. You don't need a Zoom account to join a meeting. So all you need is an invitation. So here is an example of a Zoom invitation that I created earlier. So you would get something like this from one of your professors. It might just have the link. It might just have the meeting ID you see right here. Whatever the case may be, it'll look somewhat kind of similar to this. So you really have two options to join a Zoom meeting. So you can either use this meeting ID you see here, or you can hit this link. So we're going to go ahead and do the meeting ID route right now really quickly. So all you would do, as you saw, I just hit join a meeting, and then you would go ahead and, where'd you go? There you go. And then you would go ahead and type in that meeting ID, 727-309-167. You put your name here. I don't know why I put half of my name. And then these options are pretty self-explanatory, and then you would just hit join. I'm not going to join right now, but I'll demonstrate that in a little bit. And that's all you need to do there. Now, if there's a password like you see here, once you hit join, it'll bring up a little dialog box asking for the password, and that's where you would put that. Again, I'll show that in a second. So let's say we want to go the link route. So let's exit out of Zoom and go ahead and use this link. So I made this Zoom account or this Zoom meeting through my mom's account, and I have that pulled up on my tablet right here. So I'm going to go ahead and start the meeting on that end just to demonstrate, and then we're going to use this link. So this Zoom meeting, I just started it, so it should work. So all you have to do is go to the link. If it's a hyperlink, of course, you can just click it, whatever the case may be, and then it's going to take you to this website. If you don't already have Zoom downloaded, it's going to ask you to download it. That's why I suggested just go ahead and start by downloading it. And then it's going to launch Zoom, and then there you go. It immediately put me in that meeting since I had already started it on the other end. So the first option it's going to ask you is to test your speaker and microphone or join with your computer audio. If it's your first time using Zoom, I would go ahead and test speaker and microphone. And then it's going to run through this little thing. Do you hear ringtone? Yes. Do you speak and pause? Hear replay? Yes. And then join with computer audio. You're good to go. I'm going to turn that on. So, okay, it was on the other end as well. So anyway, once you've set up your computer audio and your microphone, you should be good to go, and you really don't have to do much after that. And again, you really usually only have to do that if it's your first time on Zoom. Anyway, otherwise you should be set. So now anything that the presenter does on their end, I will see if they share their screen. Like for example, on the presenter's end right here, I'm gonna go ahead and share like YouTube. So if I share that, you can see that it is now sharing YouTube. So anything I do on this end, you will see happen on your end. So anything your professor does, if he's giving a presentation or whatever, you would see them. Of course, you would see that happening. I'm gonna stop sharing there. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty low maintenance once you've joined a meeting. Don't really have to do anything. You can share your screen. I'll get into these options a little later, but you probably won't need to do that if you're just attending a class. One option you may use is this chat feature. So like I mentioned earlier, you can text essentially. So if your audio isn't working for whatever reason or whatever the case may be, you can send messages here. So you can send a message to everyone, as you can see, and everyone in the meeting will see that, or you can send a direct message to one person in particular. So if you only want to talk to a specific student in the class, then you do have that option. Of course, my mom is the only other one in this meeting, so she's my only option. Other than that, that's pretty much all you might need if you're just joining a meeting. You can also hit these buttons right here to unmute yourself and start your video. Relatively self-explanatory. And then you can hit these up arrows if you need to troubleshoot your audio or troubleshoot your video. But it's pretty simple, pretty easy. And sorry about that. That's pretty much all you would need just to join a meeting. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this meeting and end it on this end. Yeah. Okay, so far, what happened? Where did Zoom go? Oh yeah, I didn't launch the app earlier. So we're gonna relaunch Zoom. It closed it because I had just gone through the link rather than opening the app. So now we're gonna get into signing in and all that good stuff. So far we've went over how to download and install it, and then it's just basically how to join meetings since you don't need an account to join those meetings. And now we're gonna actually sign in. So A&M and Zoom already have a partnership, which is why we went through that A&M website earlier. And then once you hit sign in, you're gonna go ahead and sign in with SSO. You can create your own account, but you would only get the free version, and you have access to the full version, so may as well use it. So all you would do is type in Tamu right here, continue, and then normally it would bring up the normal login screen as if you were logging into Howdy. You put in your NetID, your password, and then it'll log you in. So the benefits of the full version of Zoom is that you can have longer meetings, and you can have meetings with up to 300 people. The free version, you're limited to, I believe, 45 minutes each, and you can't have as many people. So do with that as you wish. For most cases, the free version will probably be fine, but again, you have access to the full version, may as well use it. So here's the dashboard. So I'm going to get into creating meetings relatively briefly, and then we'll try to wrap it up here pretty soon. How much are we going on? We're already going on 10 minutes. Okay. So first of all, once you log in, you do have this join button. Same thing as we showed and demonstrated earlier. You can type in that meeting ID and your name. I didn't get a chance to show the password. I should be able to show that right here. Actually, I don't need to. Like I said, once you hit join, it'll just bring up a screen. What's the password? And then you would just type that in. It's pretty simple. So I'm going to go ahead and go away from there. So now we're going to go into actually making meetings. So of course you would need to do this if you want to meet with classmates or another student, whatever the case may be. You use these two features here. So we're going to start with schedule meeting. So these options are pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to run through each of them specifically. Really what you need to know is this right here. So of course you would title the meeting whatever you want, and then you would schedule it. So you can schedule it for a specific time like we have set here, or you can make it recurring. The only difference is whenever you set it to recurring, it's going to create a link and a meeting ID that you can use as often as you would like and whenever you would like. If you only have it scheduled and set to be, one time, in this case later on today, then it's going to create a link, it's going to create an ID, but you can only use that once. You can start the meeting early or late, but you can only use that link and that ID one time. And then once you finish that meeting, it's gonna be gone. And you'll have to, if you want to start another meeting, you'll have to create a new link and a new ID. So if you're planning on meeting with your lab mates once a week, then just hit recurring meeting. And then all these, again, pretty self-explanatory. And then here, we're just gonna go ahead. Actually, this calendar option, it'll automatically add this this meeting to your calendar for you if you would like, and then we would just hit schedule. So as you can see, it's trying to launch Google, so it can add it to my calendar. I'm going to X that out. I don't need that. And then you can see right here is the meeting I just created. This one, and this is the meeting I just created. So you can see those. Like I said, you can start the meeting early if you need to. And then you have a few other options. So you can copy invitation. So I'll show you what this does. So essentially this is the invitation. The link, the ID, the password, that's the invitation to the meeting. So if I copy the invitation and then I paste it right into here, you will see this is the starting right here is the invitation. So this is really all you need. It'll show you the date and time. It'll have the link and it'll have the meeting ID. That's all most people will probably need. These numbers right here are so you can get into Zoom with your cell phone audio. So if your computer doesn't have a microphone, you can use these phone numbers to get into Zoom with your phone number, to get into the audio with your phone number. And then we're gonna go ahead and X out of that. Actually, we're just gonna minimize it. So that's pretty much that. Scheduling a meeting. And then the only difference with this new meeting button, if you hit that, it's going to automatically create a meeting starting right now. So I'll show you right now. We're going to hit new meeting, and here you go. I'm going to start with turning off the video. There we go. So as you can see, it automatically created a brand new meeting starting now. We already tested speaker microphone, so I'm just going to join the computer audio. So now I'm going to show you the tools of hosting a meeting, and then wrap it up with showing the website a little bit, and that'll be about it. So again, as the meeting host, you have access to share your screen. So if you hit this button, you'll share your entire screen. Anything you do on your computer, everyone will see. If you share these right here are all the programs you have open. So if I share, let's say, the internet, you can see it started sharing. Anytime I have this open, it's gonna share my screen. If I open OneNote and close the internet, it's gonna automatically pause sharing because I closed the internet. So anything I do here, no one else will see. If I open like this notepad, no one will see that. It's only when I reopen the internet, as you can see, it started sharing again. Everyone will be able to see what I'm doing again. So everyone can see what you're doing, everything you're doing on screen. Here with these options, they can only see that program. So though that's beneficial. Here with manage participants, you can see everyone in your meeting. You can mute everyone, unmute everyone at your will, and then you can also invite people once the meeting has started. As you can see here, there's a ton of people. These are all people at A&M. So if they're already at A&M and on Zoom, you can automatically search for them and invite them here, or you can send them an email, or you can just copy the invitation like I showed earlier, and then do whatever you wish with that. Or again, you can also just copy the URL. So you have a lot of options in that sense. That's really it in terms of hosting meetings. Again, you do have a few more options than if you were just joining. You have more power to mute and unmute people. You would see everyone in your meeting here, and these little microphone and video buttons, you can toggle those as the host. You can also, one good option is record. So you can record the entire meeting and it'll download and save it for you. You can save that for your records if you need. And that's pretty much it in terms of that. That's probably all you would need. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video and then end meeting for all. If you just hit leave meeting, you have to promote, you have to assign somebody else as the host. So like, let's say you're the head of the meeting and the meeting's over, then you would just end it for everyone. But if you have to leave the meeting earlier, but you're the host, assign somebody else as the host. So when you leave, their meeting will end as well. So that's pretty much really it. That's more or less all the features of Zoom. The only other thing is you do have a dedicated chat feature, so you can just message people directly without having to be in a meeting. And then you do have contacts. So these contacts are going to show everyone at A&M. I'm not entirely sure if it's everyone at A&M or everyone who's already activated their Zoom account. I would assume the latter. As you can see, there's 25, almost 26,000 people here. So, if you need to talk with your classmates, you might be able to find them there. And then Zoom rooms. These are essentially classrooms through Zoom. So if you needed to use this, of course, your professor would provide those details, and of course you would know about it. But that's really it for the Zoom app. Now I'm going to go ahead, excuse me. I'm going to go ahead, I suddenly have the hiccups. I'm going to go ahead and show how to use the web version real quick if you would like to use that. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty much just like the app. So you can go ahead and just join a meeting just like that. Put in the meeting ID. You can host a meeting. You do have to sign in to host a meeting like I mentioned earlier. So then you can hit schedule or join a meeting again. And of course, these options are again just like the ones we had in the app. Once you started the meeting, it might ask you to download the app. I'm actually not entirely sure. Again, I would suggest just going ahead and downloading Zoom from the start. So that's pretty much it for the app, and that's it for Zoom. So once again, let me get organized. There we go. So once again, we are the Academic Peer Mentors, and I hope y'all enjoyed that video and got what you may need. That being said, we do have our own Zoom meetings. So we do have office hours. Normally, of course, they would all be on campus, but now we've shifted to Zoom. So Sunday through Sunday, and then Tuesday through Thursday, we have office hours from 3 to 10, Monday from 3 to 8. And if you want to join in on those, you just type in this meeting ID right into this box right here, and then, put your name, of course, and then you can go ahead and join our Zoom office hours. And then, so if you have any questions, you can ask us through there. We're on Zoom at these entire times. And then we do also offer academic checkups. Again, normally these would be in person, but now we've shifted to Zoom. So if you want to sit down with one of us academic peer mentors in one-on-one, and you want to chat, or you have something you need help with, whatever the case may be, you can go ahead and sign up for one of these checkups. And then, of course, my boss will assign you to one of the academic peer mentors, and then they would get into contact with you, and we can set up regular meetings and help you as much as you may need. So that's it. I think that's all for me. Let's see, how are we doing on time? We're at 20 minutes. All right, that's not too bad, I suppose. So once again, I hope you got everything you may needed, and good luck with all your classes and meetings that you'll have for the rest of the semester. If you have any more questions on Zoom, don't be afraid to reach out to us. Don't be afraid to join these office hours. Or, of course, you could always reach out to the IT help desk or your professors in particular, but they already have enough going on as it is. So I would definitely suggest reaching out to us if necessary. But I'm going to pause the video real quick, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, I remembered one thing I wanted to mention real quick. So, of course, we also do have a website, the Academic Peer Mentors. Just search Academic Peer Mentors TAMU on Google. It'll bring you to our website. Here's where you can find information to contact us, and here's information on what we do. If you hit programs and services, you see what we do, and you have the option of registering for one of those academic checkups I mentioned earlier. And if you go into eCampus, Academics in Residence, you should have this option down here in My Organizations, and then register for an academic checkup right here on the left. And there you go. This form is the same for all those methods I just mentioned. Fill this out, and then we'll get into contact with you if you would like. Okay, now I think I'm done. So once again, thank you so much for joining, and I hope you got. I hope this was helpful, and good luck with everyone.